All right, buckle up, because today we are diving headfirst into a question that'll really make you think. What if the moon just vanished?
And I have a feeling you brought me on this deep dive because pondering those kinds of cosmic what-ifs is right up my alley.
You know me too well. We're diving into this article, What If the Moon Disappeared? How Life on Earth Would Change, and let me tell you, it gets wild. First up, the immediate aftermath, the physical changes. This is where I really started going down the rabbit hole.
Well, picture this. You wake up one morning and the coastlines are totally different, like completely redrawn. Because the moon's gravity, that's the big kahuna when it comes to tides, it's gone.
So no more those incredible images of the tide rushing in, those huge waves crashing on the shore.
Gone. Those dramatic tides, they'd shrink down to about 40% of what we're used to. Some places, the beaches we know and love, they'd just be different.
That's insane. But doesn't it also affect tides?
It does pull on our oceans, yeah. But it's nothing compared to the moon's influence.
Yeah.
Without the moon leading the tidal dance, we'd barely even notice the tides.
So less of a dramatic ebb and flow, more like a gentle lapping at the shore? That doesn't sound too catastrophic, at least not yet.
That's where the but comes in. Because that gentle lapping, it spells disaster for a lot of marine ecosystems. We're talking coral reefs, sea turtles, all kinds of fish. They've evolved over millions of years depending on the rhythm of the tides. Mess with that rhythm, you mess with everything.
Like pulling a thread in a giant cosmic tapestry and watching the whole thing unravel. You take away one seemingly simple thing, the moon, and suddenly ecosystems are collapsing.
Okay, so that's the oceans. What about, us land dwellers? Does losing the moon impact, the planet itself?
Oh, absolutely. You see, the moon, it's not just a pretty face up there. It's like Earth's personal stabilizer. Keeps us from wobbling all over the place. Specifically, it keeps our axial tilt in check, that 23.5-degree tilt that gives us our seasons.
Okay, picture me nodding my head like I totally remember that from grade school science class. But seriously, what happens to that tilt if the moon's MIA?
Think of a top spinning wildly as it starts to slow down. That's what Earth would be like without the moon. That tilt that gives us our predictable seasons. It would be all over the place.
Give me a visual. What would that look like on the ground? Imagine some parts of the planet get slammed with scorching summers and brutally cold winters because the tilt's gone extreme. And then other places might be stuck in what feels like a never-ending summer or winter because the tilt swung the opposite way.
So basically, all our current worries about climate change would be nothing compared to the utter chaos that would unfold.
Exactly. Farmers would be constantly fighting a losing battle, trying to keep up. Coastal communities would be dealing with rising sea levels because the ice caps would be melting like crazy. And that's just for starters.
It's honestly kind of terrifying to think about. Speaking of changes, the article also mentioned something about how the length of our days and nights, they wouldn't be the same either.
Yeah, it's all about this delicate dance of gravity. The moon actually acts like a brake on Earth's rotation. It's slowing us down bit by bit over time.
Hold on, are you saying the moon is why our days are getting longer?
Exactly. It's tiny, maybe about 1.7 milliseconds per century. But think about it over billions of years. Without that lunar break, Earth's rotation would speed up. Our days would actually get shorter.
I thought we were supposed to be getting more hours in a day, not less.
It's counterintuitive, right? But that's what would happen if we lost the moon's pull. And it wouldn't happen overnight, but over thousands of years. No more nice, leisurely 24-hour cycles for us.
Okay, so to recap, shorter days, unpredictable seasons, ecosystems in free fall, and we're just getting started. It's like all these systems, the tides, the seasons, even how long a day is, they're all connected to the moon. Makes you wonder, what if Earth had never had a moon at all?
Now you're talking about a whole different kind of what if. We're talking about life as we know it, maybe not even existing.
You mean like way back in the beginning? The moon's pull on those early oceans, that's what might have helped get life going.
It's a theory, yeah. Those tides, ebbing and flowing, created the perfect conditions for life to emerge. No moon, no tides, no us. Pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Makes you realize we might not be the center of things after all. But hold on, you keep saying life as we know it. Are you saying there could still be life, just different life?
Exactly. Imagine a world where the sun rules the day, and then at night, total darkness except for the stars. If life had found a way to exist on a moonless Earth, it wouldn't be anything like what we're used to.
Like trying to picture a new color, Life that follows a completely different set of rules. So what would be different? Give me some examples.
For one thing, without the moon's gravity slowing Earth down, our planet would be spinning crazy fast. We could be talking days and nights that last like 6 to 8 hours.
Okay, now that is weird. Creatures that live their whole lives in what we think of as a day. Plants that bloom and die in a few hours. It'd be like nature on fast forward.
Exactly. And without the moon to keep our axis from wobbling, those unpredictable seasons we talked about, they wouldn't be unpredictable, they'd be constant. Life would have to adapt to survive scorching heat and then freezing cold.
It'd be a planet of extremes. Kinda terrifying, but also kind of amazing. If humans had evolved on a moonless Earth, would we even be human?
Now you're getting at something really profound. Imagine looking up and the stars are the main event every single night. No moon to mark the passage of time, our whole concept of months and seasons would be totally different.
We wouldn't even have months, would we? I mean, that's directly tied to the moon.
Exactly. Our calendars, our holidays, even how we understand time itself. It would all be based on the sun and the stars. We might have developed a whole different way of measuring time, something more in sync with the entire cosmos.
It's wild to think something as simple as having a moon could have such a huge impact on, well, everything.
It really shows you how connected everything in the universe really is. We take the moon for granted, but without it, our planet, life itself, even how we think, it would all be completely different.
It really makes you appreciate that pale dot in the night sky, doesn't it? I mean, we get so caught up in our own little worlds, we forget to look up and think about the bigger picture.
It's like we take our planet to the mechanic and say, hey, what's this moon thing even do?
And the answer is a lot, apparently. But with all this talk about what we'd be missing without the moon, did anything good come from thinking about this? Every cloud and all that.
There you go. Always looking for the silver lining. And you know what? There might be a few. For starters, imagine a night sky without the moon's glow.
Okay, I imagine. Go on.
You step outside, and it is truly dark. And the stars, they're blazing. So many stars you can barely believe it. A stargazer's dream come true.
Okay, now that is a silver lining. Trade a moon for a sky full of stars. Not bad. What else?
Think about how much humans would have had to adapt to survive on a moonless Earth. We might have had to invent whole new sources of energy, new ways to grow food, new ways to navigate, maybe even using the stars.
So instead of lagging behind, we might actually be more advanced, more in tune with the universe.
It's a possibility. Sometimes it takes a challenge, a what-if scenario like this, to really push humanity forward.
It's interesting to think about. But even knowing all that, there's still this part of me that feels, I don't know, like those humans would be missing out.
I know what you mean. The moon, it's not just science, right? It's a part of our history, our stories, our art. Imagine no more stories about the man in the moon, no more moonlight serenades. A world without that, it feels kind of empty.
Empty is a good word for it. It'd be a different kind of beauty, but different.
And that's what we really learned today, isn't it? It's not just about the moon disappearing. It's about realizing how important it is, how it affects our planet, our lives, even how we think.
Definitely gives you a new perspective.
It reminds us not to take things for granted, to look up every now and then and really see that moon, see how it connects to everything.
Well said. This deep dive has been quite the journey. We've gone to the edge of imagination and back again, explored the science, the what-ifs, and yeah, even the magic of a world without a moon. And even though I'm glad we have our moon, it makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder about all the other possibilities out there. And sometimes it's those what-if questions, even the scary ones, that help us understand our place in the universe.
That's a great place to leave it. Until next time, keep looking up and keep asking those big what-if questions. Who knows what we'll explore next?